What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Graftkings podcast. We're back here in Maidstone in Kent's hottest nightclub, Moo Moo's, and we're joined by another special guest, someone who's well known in the boxing industry, Archie Sharp. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, lad? You alright?
Yeah, all good, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today.
You are our first ever boxer. We've never ever had a boxer on the pod before, and I don't know why we've waited so long to have one, to be fair, because boxers suit our demographic to a T. Like, it's everything embodies our message, like hard working, training, gym, looking after yourself. And
We was waiting for the pro, bro.
yeah,
That's
we're
what
waiting
it
for the pro.
was waiting for the pro.
You got away from number one.
Well, what for people back home? I know obviously you're a boxer. Do you want to give people a brief description?
Yeah, so
Yeah, go on.
28, professional boxer, ranked number one in the WBO world ranking. So my next fight, or two fights, obviously we'll be fighting for a world title. I've had 23 fights, 23 wins.
Wow.
And
Oh,
yeah, I've
fucking
been
hell.
professional now for about 8 years. Been boxing since the age of 7. So I've been 21 years in the sport, hard sport as well. But so yeah, that's my little
How many
intro.
of those were knockouts, bro?
I've had 9 knockouts out of 20.
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah, out of 23 wins. Yeah.
Interesting.
Bloody hell.
Has any of them like kind of, you know, like when you watch boxing, it
Yeah.
leads up and there's always the hype around it. Is that always legit, or is there a little bit like for the cameras and just to kind of create a bit more
You got
hype?
You've got to create the spark, of course, but obviously you've got to think as well. That other person wants to knock your face out, and potentially, listen, you're putting your lives on the line, you know, and it's just as brutal as that. People
Yeah.
have died in the sport of boxing, so there is a bit of that as well. But then
Course.
I've had it myself, and you start just to sell the fight, and before you know it, you're quickly in, and you think, do you know what, I'm knocking this fella out.
It gets so personal.
But once you do the fight and all that, your respect's earned there, you know, when you got two men standing in front of each other fighting, and you earn your respect.
Have you ever had a fight, Arch, where you proper hate the geezer? You think, like, I can't wait to get in there and hurt him.
Like getting personal.
Yeah. It's my
Yeah.
first ever title fight that put me on the map really in the pro rankings. I was fighting my promoter, Frank Warren, at the time. He had a little golden boy who was also unbeaten.
Cool.
He is 11-0, and I think I was 12-0, 13-0. And yeah, it was a back and forth, and I actually generally had hate for this kid. I remember sitting there every night saying to my wife, I was saying, I really hate this kid. I just want to hurt the fella. And then, but like, anyway, you get in there, you do your thing, and look, there's no bad blood now. You know?
Good man.
That's good, man.
Yeah, nice.
That always happens at the end of boxing as well. Like you always see it. The hype builds up. They hate each other, and then it's like a
There's
bit
a level of
sportsmanship.
respect there
so much
after you've
respect.
like.
Well, they do say like it's not obviously being a good boxer is part of it, but being able to sell tickets,
Sell tickets,
you
yeah.
have to sell tickets because
Yeah,
they,
sure.
they say that the biggest hype and the one that's loudest with their mouth is the one that's the most successful if he can back it up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Quiet mouth don't get fed. That's what they say, don't they?
Exactly that. Conor McGregor's a perfect example of that.
Yeah, true.
Mouthiest geezer on the planet.
He is,
He's not been
bro.
able to back it up recently, but he's still. Do you know what I'm saying? He's like he sells tickets.
Could you have him?
Oh, of course, 100%. We'll have to go up. He's a big old fella now, isn't he? He's a big fella. But listen,
Send him a message, bro.
who knows? He might see me in the PFL very soon, mate.
Yeah,
In the MMA.
that'd be a good fight, wouldn't
Good,
it?
wouldn't it?
How where's the drive for boxing come from? I know you said you've been doing it since a kid. Is it in your family? Where's that come from?
Yeah, so my dad, my granddad, they've all boxed. They've all been in the fighting game. And as a young kid, I was very hyperactive, very just a naughty kid, I suppose. But my dad took me to the gym. I've done all sorts of sports, rugby, football, swimming, done them all. But then when I went to boxing, that's what kind of stuck with me. And my dad said, because I've never been a big fella. Look at he's all bigger than me now, but I've never been a massive fella. I've always had the biggest mouth, you know. So growing up as a kid, my dad said, you need to learn how to fight. So look, I did, and I fell in love with the sport, and I've stuck it out.
Yeah, mad.
That's good, man. It's good. Probably keeps you well disciplined as a kid growing up as well.
Unbelievable.
Because am I right in thinking you're not legally allowed to kind of really fight outside the ring because you can mess your whole title up and stuff, right?
Boxing is just what boxing has done for me is I can't even put it into words. With the discipline, the mentality, with me as a person, it's done a lot for me and saved me. I should say it has saved me
Really?
because, like you say, with the discipline, I could have been down any bad road, but. You don't want to be fighting out on the streets. Do you know what I mean? But you're one bad shot hitting someone,
Killing someone,
yeah, you're killing someone, and it ain't the right thing to do. And also with like I say, discipline. I remember being 10, 11, 12 years old, not being able to eat a bit of chocolate, and all your mates eating chocolates.
Yeah.
I can't eat for 24 hours because I'm making weight. And I mean, I've done all that from the age of 10
Wow, that's
till
mad.
till now. I'm still doing the same thing, dieting. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's got you 23-0. It's obviously paid off.
Yeah, it's been a lot of discipline, and boxing is a short career. I know I've been in it for a long time. I mean, in the paid ranks and as a business, it is a short career. So you have to be very disciplined. 'Cause I know a lot of talented fighters, and they got to like 30 and it's too late. I thought, shit, only if I dedicate myself for them 10 years through your 20s and more. But yeah, I'm very fortunate.
What age is it capped at boxing? Like I'm not.
I don't know. The heavier weights go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You go into the lates, but like for myself, I like to 35, 36. You know, I've still got another few years in the sport. I look after myself. I don't drink, don't smoke, discipline. So
Yeah.
Do you not drink ever, Arch? You never drink at all?
Nah, I done all my days when I was young in my teens. You know, I got to paid ranks, mate. I knocked everything on the head and
Wow.
yeah, and stayed 100% dedicated to the sport.
Do you miss it?
Fair play.
Nah.
That's good.
Nah.
That's
Even
good.
when I'm out of camp, if my wife said, "Oh, have a drink tonight," it just doesn't interest me. I like waking up fresh every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Can't really afford to though, can you? Like Eubank lost
Yeah.
that fight, and everyone wrote him off. Everyone was like, "Danis finished all this." So one like fuck up, and you're
Yeah.
like almost forgotten about. Do you know what I mean?
One bad performance.
More than the rise up, they want to see you fall as well. That's what it is. Like people want to probably see you fail rather than make it.
100%.
So,
Everyone
like,
does.
We were speaking earlier, like there's so much pressure for you and anyone who's in an industry, because there's always the expectation you have to show up, and there's so many people watching. Like, how do you even handle that? To be honest.
Yeah, but sure, like I said before we started, boxing, obviously, you've got to have ability and you've got to have a talent, but it is a mentality. It's definitely the mental strength that obviously gets you to where you want to be, because the pressure is unbelievable. I've got kids, I've got family, you've got people coming to support, which is all lovely, but believe me now, of all the people in the arena, I say there's 10,000, I'm telling you, 8,000 are there for you to lose, you know? It's just one of them one. Or people say that they're on your team, but secretly they're watching there thinking, oh, we're wanting to see him foul. But so yeah, it's definitely the mentality of it is you got to be seriously strong.
You ever got cold feet like walking up to the ring? Like, does that ever happen? Because even for me, like when it kicks off with someone, I get that adrenaline go through me, and you kind of go weak in the knees. You're like, what's going to happen here? I don't know. That walking into a ring, I can't imagine how that feels.
Yeah, it's daunting. You got listen. Once you get, there's a certain stage in it when you're doing your little pads in the back and warming up, your nerves are kicking in. But the minute I get out there and I see everyone and the lights, the cameras, all that just goes, and I just got to focus on my job.
Yeah,
and then just enjoy the
and
moment.
just battering them up, basically.
Enjoy the moment.
Is this your full-time job?
Yeah,
Full-time living?
full-time living. Yeah.
Oh, wow, man. So I suppose there's a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah,
Your family, right?
Yeah, exactly that.
How does your missus kind of look at the whole boxing career? Because I know it's a bit more personal for them, considering you could get hurt, right? So is she okay with it? She's supportive, or is she kind of like, I don't want to?
They say a good man's always got to have a good woman, and listen, I'm very grateful and blessed for my wife. Me and her we're like best mates, really. You know what I mean? So she sees what I go through, the pressure, and the bad times. There's a lot of bad times as much as people see the good times, like injuries, politics. I should have been boxing for a world title 2 years ago, but I've had nothing but dramas with politics and things like that. So she's stuck by me and seen it, and look, she just wants me to do well, do what we got to do, and get out. But yeah, I think it's definitely important. You've got to have someone supporting you at home, because it's hard enough. Do you know what I mean? It's hard enough
job
every
as it
day.
is,
They're
yeah.
on your case, like, oh, why are you always in the gym? Or come on, we want to go out for food tonight, and you can't eat a curry or anything. You're like, do you know what I mean? They got to be with you, because it's hard. And have you ever heard of the word hangry?
Yeah.
I was off, mate. I'm telling you, my
How long have you been with your wife?
We've been married for over a year now. I've been with her for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
4 kids, mate. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
4 kids,
Mate.
mate.
He's got his hands tied, mate. At home.
Wow.
Mate, I'm 32 and I've only got one.
Well, you've got a bird.
I don't have the capacity.
Oh, insane.
Where did it? So you got with your bird young, man. So
Yeah.
younger than most people in this generation. I know back in the day that was the normal thing to do. The norm. What drove you towards that? Is it tradition, or is it you just fell in love early? How did that come about? Because obviously this generation don't
It's
really.
unheard of, yeah.
It's unheard of now.
yeah.
You know
It's
what?
nice.
It's funny because I was just saying to just now I had a bad couple of days. So yesterday my nan died in the
sorry to
morning.
hear that, brother.
Sorry, man.
So my granddad had been together since they were 17. So
Wow.
they've been that power couple, and they've always said about me and my wife, like, we've got that in us. So
That's
I
nice.
suppose it's been driven in us. You know, look at my nan
nice.
and granddad have been with each other for so long, grandkids and great grandchildren, and yeah.
Good
So,
family values.
Great, 100%.
Mum and dad together as well.
Now, Joe, my mum and dad did split, but they're remarried and they are happy. now,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, nice, man.
I was gonna say, because everything kind of stems from that. My parents are divorced, and I kind of grew up around broken relationships. So I feel like a part of me not wanting to be with anyone at the moment, or just in general, comes from that. So it's kind of like it's always like a bit of a trait, like a dominoes effect on what you see from when you're young.
Yeah, because
your grandparents was clearly a big example for what a relationship is like.
Yeah, man.
And that's probably the backbone of your relationship.
It shows how much you can dial in as well, actually, because my grandmother pretty much raised me, and like I don't think I'd be able to sat where you are now.
Oh yeah, no, I was very close. I was the first grandchild.
Man.
This is, do you know what I mean? We're close, but look, we
appreciate that, man.
No, obviously,
that.
look, I said I'll be here, didn't I? So we're here. So
good man, fair play.
You know what I mean? But like I say, it's the mindset, innit? Like, unfortunately, she was ill. Unfortunately, she passed yesterday, but it's just life, mate. She'll be looking down, and you know what I mean? It's just, life don't stop for no one, unfortunately.
Cool,
do you know
isn't
what I
that
mean?
the truth,
So,
bro?
man.
So yeah, so
Isn't that the truth?
Yes, people, thank you for making it this far into the podcast. Hope you're enjoying it. If you wouldn't mind, just hit that subscribe button. It'd do us the world of favours.
That's nice, mate. So she's seen you really through thick and thin, mate. She's seen you grow from that 20-year-old self, or 18-year-old self, what you were, to what you are now, mate.
Yeah.
And you go from seeing every fight. She's seen every fight you've been through, and every win, every training camp.
everything, yeah.
Wow, man, that's support. That's a good woman.
No, it's great support, yeah, very good. So
She's same age as you.
yeah,
Wow.
we've known each other since we was like 2. We went primary school.
wow.
We went nursery, primary school.
That's a mad
secondary
story,
school.
isn't it?
Then when we left secondary school, we did part for a couple of years, and then we reunited a couple of years later.
That's unheard of.
That's
Yeah.
very, that's very,
What a
very
story.
rare.
But you know what? I'm glad we parted, because they know the days when we were saying about being 18, 19, when I was in Maidstone, Moo Moos and all the other clubs, you know what I mean? So I'm glad we did part. And then
We're still stuck in that era.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's it.
We're still
We
stuck
need to
in
grow
that.
up. Well,
so
yeah.
it happens every day. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone has their own path, don't they? Do you know what I'm
Exactly. I
saying?
was born in the wrong era.
Yeah, same as that.
Are you an old soul, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
That's
I'd
good.
say
There's nothing wrong with that. Well, we spoke about this before, haven't we?
Yeah, I'd like to. I've adapted to the era that I'm in, but I definitely would have rather been born like 100 years ago or 50, 60 years ago.
100 years ago,
Think?
yeah?
Yeah, I
100.
think the 1920s would have been the bollocks, mate.
I think Mason is better suited for like the 30s and the 40s.
Yeah?
Just a bit more chivalry, more racism for him. None of us start floating about. Maybe Archie will be with him, but me not us,
That is bullshit, by the way. That is bullshit. Internet's permanent.
I'm
So now
joking.
rectify what you.
Mason is a very cultured person. I was forced to say this.
Oh dear.
Oh, fair
Mate,
play.
do you know what? Just on topic of boxing, obviously, there's a lot of ups and downs. What would you say, maybe kind of up until this point, has been the most valuable lesson you've learned from your career?
I've probably had, I'd say I've had a lot of good ups, a lot of good times, but there's been a lot of bad times as well in regards to the politics, injuries. Obviously, when we had, it was a bad time for everyone,
Oh, yeah.
especially for the boxing as well. So I remember literally just as I was coming out of COVID, getting all excited to get that fight back and get myself back. I literally broke my arm
Oh wow.
the week before, and then it was just, do you know what I mean, one thing after another.
How did you do
Training.
that?
Yeah, sparring. So it's like I say, a fluke of a thing. Do you know what I mean? Never probably happen ever again. But
Most
this one
accidents
time it
happen,
did,
though.
and then first like proper injury that I've had in boxing, and then that was that really. So like that was hard times because you had so long out the ring, and then
Yeah.
even
You got
more
away,
so I had
yeah.
operations, and then like, you know what I mean, you get paid to fight. So
I was gonna
it's
say.
not like it's not like bad anyway. It wiped everyone out. So that was very challenging for myself, like mentally, because you got I've got kids,
Of course.
house, other things. You know what I mean? You have to think about things, but so that was a bit of a reality check. But what don't break you makes you stronger. As I say.
Do you ever look back at stuff like that, like with when you broke your arm, Archie, and think, can you look back at that scenario now and potentially look at why that happened?
Yeah.
You think, I'm glad that actually did happen, because
Yeah.
otherwise it wouldn't have led to X, Y, Z.
I'm a big believer of all that, mate. Everything happens for a reason, mate.
Sick.
100%.
Okay, cool.
So broke my arm. Was supposed to fight, obviously. Talking about world titles, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And then a certain belt that I needed really wasn't available at that time.
Okay.
And then when I did come back after the injury, the first fight I did, I jumped in for the WBO global belt, which secured me a position at #1 in the world. So
Wow,
I look
okay.
back, at the time it wasn't available.
When you come back, it was.
When I come back, it was, and then we picked it up, and so yeah.
Nice,
It happened
man.
for a reason.
Is there any
Yeah,
fights
cool.
lined up? Is there anything
So
coming soon?
I'm hoping in October. Same again.
Nice.
I'm stuck in a little situation with politics, but I've had a cut of 3 years of it, man. I'm 10 years been out of work, but yeah. So I boxed in April, and I was supposed to be out in September, but that fell through. So it'll be October now, and hopefully again in December.
Do you know, I've got an interesting question. It's just come off the top of my head. There is a lot of YouTube boxing at the moment that's going about.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of boxers, there's a bit of a clash between the two, right? I feel like they're coming in, maybe stealing the limelight a little bit because they have clout. What's your thought process about the whole industry of YouTube boxing?
Yeah, like, it's frustrating because when you got people like myself and we're just saying about other people like Sam and
Sam, Sean,
and Sean and all that doing the thing, like they're proper fighters who dedicate their life to the sport, you know, like with the discipline and like not eating and doing all this stuff, you know what I mean, dedicating your whole life. And you got some YouTubers come along who go and pick up silly money that you get for world title fights. So yeah, it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, it's business. It's the era that we're in. Do you know what I mean? We're in the era of attention, so everything's got to be about attention. So
true.
It's massive at the moment, isn't it?
Exactly that.
Do you think it's done well for boxing now? Do you think it's put more eyes onto it that wouldn't have normally been on it?
It's brought a lot more eyes to it, but I think it's brought. I don't know. It's a hard one because I feel like the good days were when you got the old fighters, you know, like Arlies, and you got your Sugar Rays. Like everyone knows about them big fights, and everyone just see them. Now we're sport for choice. There's so much boxing platforms. You've got loads of different platforms, and now you've got fighters that are not really fighters, like these, like what's it, Jake Paul, KSIs, and all this. Like my kids know about them, but my kids don't know about who
The real fighters are.
legend fighters are.
Right,
Like my trainer at the minute is Roy Jones Jr. Yeah, who's an unbelievable.
really?
He's my trainer. So
Wow.
who's an iconic fighter, but obviously my kids know him now. When I was like, oh yeah, I've got Roy, they're like, oh okay, Dad. If I said about KSI, they'd be like, oh
Screaming.
wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has damaged the sport. For sure, it's damaged it, but then also they've pumped a lot of money towards the sport, so it just depends.
What would you say the benefits and the cons are of that? That, you know, the limelight that they've brought to the sport does for actual professional boxers like yourself.
But I think it. See, like KSIs and these, if they boxed proper professional fighters like myself and other fighters, it can be very dangerous for these sort of people.
Yeah.
So look, Tommy Fury was a big thing because he was fighting, but Tommy's just been exposed to boxing.
Yeah.
He's not do you know what I mean? He's learning on the job. Whereas
Okay,
someone
fine.
like I say myself, I'm not in that sort of weight division, but if you had like someone like Anthony Yard, who's at that weight division, goes and fights someone like them, one of them fighters, them YouTubers will not just be beat, but like could life damaging things, you know? I was saying people die in the ring and it could happen because they think they can box, but they haven't seen. Do you know what I mean?
Levels, isn't it? Levels.
There's levels to the sport. So like I say, it's good and there's pros and cons to it. It just depends on what how you look at it, I suppose.
Yeah, fair.
On off the back of that, like injuries and people getting hurt, has it actually ever gone badly wrong for just anyone that you've seen in the ring before? Like how bad has it actually been?
Yeah, there is. I wasn't there, but I do know someone. Who's unfortunately, it's quite a touchy thing because fit, smart-looking fella, and was sparring and had a fit, and now it's hard because he's not. You wouldn't even recognise him. Not the same person. He's got care. Like he's in a home, I think. So
Young guy.
Yeah, young guy, 29, my age.
hell.
But this happened a couple of years ago, so he's even younger, you know. So yeah, there is some real horror stories. And
There was that one boxer I've seen that I think it's a Mexican fella. You've probably seen it. Got hit on the head too many times, and literally just you can't even recognise him.
Yeah, I think I've
Brain
seen
dead,
it.
isn't it?
Back of the head.
And he was pointing at his head in the fight.
Yeah,
And
it's
he just
it's
decided
sad,
to get
mate.
thrown
It's
in.
sad. It's emotional because it's that brutal, you know. You get a fellow got in the ring wanting to go and win. Next minute he's got out and don't know who he is. Like it's scary.
That's mad when you put it like that. Yeah.
Does that never worry you? Does that
Nah,
even cross your mind?
it's never crossed my mind.
Really?
Never crossed my
It's
mind.
probably like driving a car. Like that, you could crash and die, but you don't think about it.
Yeah,
do you
that's
know what I mean?
good analogy there.
Yeah,
that's
that's very
true.
Could happen to
Yeah.
anyone.
It's true. It could happen exactly
I
I
that.
suppose if you let
headshot.
that get in your head, then that you're finished before you get in the ring.
Yeah,
aren't
do you know
you?
what I mean? You just don't think
it's
about
Can't
very
think like that, can you?
No.
Very true.
No.
No, it's rare. It is rare, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Do you know, it does happen. So
What about on the other side, Archie? What about like an absolute memorable moment where you're like, fucking, that is like something that's a locked-in memory that will live with you forever. Like that was amazing.
In the boxing ring?
In the boxing world, yeah.
Yeah, in the boxing. So like that fight I was saying, you know, like that first fight that put me on the map, that first title,
Yeah.
and that kid, and obviously the emotions that built into it, the back and forth, the arguments, and then we went to his hometown as well. We had to go to Leicester, so I took 250 of us to Leicester.
Nice.
Yeah, and we rocked up there, and we all stayed up there. It was good. It was a proper good night. I won my first professional belt. All the friends and family there, like the proper supporters who want to see you do well, were there. And we all stayed in the hotel, all had a drink. Like, do you know what I mean? Well, they had a drink and I had my orange juice. But yeah, I remember just laying
Even when you won, you still didn't have a drink afterwards?
No, never.
Wow, fair play, mate.
Laying in bed sore, you know, because your head's clashing, your elbows, you get your body sore. I couldn't sleep, and you know, just driving back with the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good memory.
But that
What's,
felt good.
what's the
Yeah,
go-to
nice.
meal after you're like gonna have that cheat meal? What is it? Go on. Everyone's got some guilty pleasure.
I don't know, you know, because I like steaks and that, so I love a good old steak.
Yeah,
But
lovely.
because I'm fortunate, I ain't got to always get rid of them out of camp, so I'm not too bad. But I love chocolate. That's my thing, chocolate. I love it. I love chocolate.
I'm more savoury.
What's your go-to chocolate?
I don't know, Lint.
That's a good choice.
Banging, to be
You mean
fair.
the red ones, yeah? When
Yeah,
you bite
mate,
into them,
I
they're
do.
banging. They
So-
always come around Christmas, don't they? They're banging.
Growing up doing obviously boxing, is there anyone that you looked up to as a role model in the industry?
What, in the boxing
Yeah,
game
like
or just in general?
Do you know what? Both.
Yeah, both.
In boxing and in general.
See, I'd say like the boxing side would obviously be your likes of your Roy Jones, your Sugar Rays because of what they do and as the fighters. But I mean, as personal would be like people like my dad, my granddad. Yeah, I'd say so. But it's funny because there was role models, and you get to a certain age, and then like you kind of like adapt. What's the word? Like not change it, but I've looked up to my dad at certain things, and then now I'm like, oh, question things still with my dad, and then now I give him my thoughts on things. He's like, oh, do you know what? It makes sense.
Crazy how that flips around, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you grow up and you become more knowledgeable than your parents. I found that over the last like 4 or 5 years, not about anything specific, but like just general life. I'm like talking to my parents, thinking I'm actually more clued up than you now. It's crazy how them roles reverse, isn't it? Like you go through life just teaches you crazy
Times
things.
change as well, don't
Time,
they?
yeah, because they're out of the touch of
They're
all
out of like, yeah.
And we're fortunate that the access that we got. So for example, for me, my shift was listening to like Tony Robbins, and things like Bob Proctor and people like that. So
Are you big in your personal development, yeah?
yeah, massive into it
Love that.
and the mindset. So I'm big into that. That was kind of my big shift, should I say, in the last few years. Was listening to reading and listening to their podcasts and interviews. And that's what shifted my sort of mindset to a lot of things. I've always been an angry person. For the last 3-4 years, man, I ain't got time for that.
It's nice, man. Yeah, it's
I feel
nice.
like a lot of boxers are chilled outside of the ring.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they are.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think when you're younger, they for some reason they're all angry. They all like want to fight someone. They want to do a madness, and then they find boxing kind of channels that energy. Then they put it into that, and that's where your out releases almost. It's in the ring.
I get tired of getting hit all the time. You're just tired of it after a while. You just think, oh, because you're going into the gym, you're sparring, you're just fighting, aren't you?
Yes, people, if you've made it this far, we appreciate you. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, we would really appreciate it. Now let's get back to the pod.
Yeah, of course.
So when you want to come home, you just want to chill out. You don't want to
Sure.
be arguing and shouting and roaring because you're doing it in the ring.
You want to find your peace,
Where do you
don't
think?
you?
Where do you think? Could you touch? You mentioned it a little bit earlier. You mentioned it off camera as well. Archie. Where do you feel like that anger come from in you, and then where do you feel like boxing's helped that?
I just feel like, see, like when I was young, like my dad and they've all been alpha males, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone in my family, my uncles, my cousins, like that. Anyone who's older, member of males in my family have always been alpha men.
Sweet.
So there's been no crying, it's been strict, you know what I mean? It's with the hand, it's none of that like beating around the bush. So that's how I was brought up. So yeah, I suppose it was just there really growing up. But then, like I say, you do go in the gym and you're challenging it because you're in there with people who can actually hold their hands up. So
Humbles you, doesn't
it
it?
humbles you.
Yeah, proper.
Like, you know what I mean? Getting with some bigger kid who gives you a punch up the ear and you think, oh. Do you know what I mean? So it does humble you for sure. So
Do you think it's good for men to show emotion? Because I say an emotional man is a dangerous man, personally. Like if a man doesn't know how to channel his emotions, that man could be very dangerous. Do you think it's good that men show their emotions, like in in nowadays as well, because I feel like a lot of men are soft now. The world has softened men up massively. Women have become more masculine. Men have become a bit more feminine. So do you think it's like in that sense?
I agree. It's a funny one because you got to get that balance. Yeah, like listen, I'm quite an emotional geezer. Like for me, someone who's always been like angry, like so I fight. Like this might sound bad. I don't want to say this in camera. If I'm in a ring, yeah, like and I'm going to hurt someone. Like, I want to hurt someone. Yeah. But then outside, like I can be quite an emotional fella. But I know what you're saying because you got to get that balance. Because the men these days are soft. They are. And look, I can be emotional and I can be a bit soft sometimes, but let me tell you something. If someone wants to come and say to me how soft you are, when I put left hook on, we'll see how soft someone can be. You know what I mean? Or I've got a 4x4 truck put in the air. We'll see how soft it can be. But no, all jokes aside, but that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, there's times, you know, I start being chill, man. I've got my kids and family. I'm just living the dream and living life. But I mean,
nice, man.
You have to be balanced because you are right. There's so many soft things, man. The things that are going on in this school at the minute with what my kids are getting
mad.
Trying to. Do you know what I mean? There's some fucked up stuff.
We talk about it, bro.
Talk about it.
We're against all that shit.
We hate it, bro.
We've touched upon it. But
It ain't right, you know. No, but it ain't right. I'm just like saying, you know what? I'm gonna say all this like. My daughter come home the other day, she's 10 and she's got kids in there that want to change and do this and do that. And I just... At 10. But I blame, like you say, where people are getting soft, it's got to be the parents. Something's got to be happening. All these things on social media, putting things in kids' heads. It's like... It's not good. It's indoctrinating the youth.
They're so impressionable at that age.
Mate, a kid's brain, bro, is like a sponge, mate.
100.
They just soak everything up. Like, for us now to try and learn a new language, if you boys try teaching us Turkish, it's hard. It takes us years and years and years and years. You teach a kid another language, they'll pick it up like that. Mate. Do you know what I mean? They'll be bilingual at 5. Do you know what I mean? They can speak 2 or 3 languages. So when they're teaching 10-year-olds this sort of stuff and putting it in their head, they start to then doubt and question their own thoughts and think, actually, do you know what? Maybe I should be like that. Is that the cool thing to be? Do I need to be changing my sex? Do I need to be identifying as something else? And do like they're pushing that agenda on them. It's just
and that's what it is. It's very forceful.
It's disgusting.
It's forceful.
They're not just teaching them about it. No. They're almost saying like, "Do you want to change?" Like as we say, "Go on, do it." It's not right, man.
And the fact that you can just call yourself whatever you want to be, you know?
It's crazy.
I don't watch the news, so I've took myself completely away from the news. I haven't seen a news for over 3 years. I think when it come along, I just didn't watch no news, you know? Because damn it, me, like, do you know what I mean? Like, since that will come along and like falling out of people, trying to tell them that what I personally think about the situation. So
I think we're all on the same page.
I just literally got rid of the news. Not listening to anything. But that's what switched me off with a couple of people as well because I don't want to hang around with people like that. I don't want to be in conversation with people who are just so easily led.
Sheep.
They're just a load of sheep and. Like I say, there's some very disturbing things going on in the world, and I just want to do what I've got to do and take myself away from it, mate, because it's damaging. It's damaging everything.
I've said to the boys about this before. I said if they start doing this shit to my kids, I'm going to pull them out of school. But I suppose it's a lot difficult. It's easier to say it, but it's a different thing to do it. No meetings with the teachers, or is there no channels that people are going down? I'll be fucking livid, mate. I'll be going to the school.
They're controlled though. Teachers get given a syllabus, the syllabus get given to the kids.
Yeah, but I say I don't want you teaching my kid that. Every time you teach my kid that, I'm taking them out for that lesson. Fuck it, I'm not doing it. I don't want him in the class.
Then you get fined.
Yeah, do you know you get fined now? Yeah, if you take your kids on holiday without their permission or this sort of stuff, they fine the parents.
I think private schools the only way around it. I don't think they're as heavy on it in private schools.
Fucking hell.
Private school kids are messed up and all, mate.
So do you actually see like what they're learning?
Curriculum.
Do you see the curriculum or do you see anything?
No, I don't.
You just hear things.
Yeah, I just see it when, like I say. So as they get, it's like my daughter's 10, so it's just her sort of age now where they're starting to introduce it. But I let my wife deal with it at the minute because at the minute, like, my kids are switched on. You know, they're switched on.
Good.
They know what the crack is, so they know what's going on. So
What you got, mate? You got a girl and
got 3 girls and a boy.
3 girls and a boy.
How old is the boy?
The boy's 5.
You got him boxing yet?
I was gonna say.
Yeah, he started boxing. He comes to the gym with me and my trainer, and he shapes up well, but. He's massive into football at the minute. He's a massive footballer. I've got him into football. So Saturday football at the minute. That's what we're doing. So I keep him away from the boxing for a bit.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. It's an hard sport. I wouldn't want him doing what I've had to go through. I like him to be able to go and box and put his hands up so he knows how to look after himself, self-defense and X, Y, and Z, and discipline. Like, a lot of discipline. Yeah. So there's But I mean, like, taking on as a full-time career or...
You don't want him to do it.
Nah, it's not
Really?
something. I'd rather go do football, kick a football for 100 mils, you know?
Yeah, fair enough.
You seem pretty level-headed.
Yeah, very.
I never expected you to be like this. Not that I knew you, but I don't know. You come across completely different than the way I thought you was going to be. Where's that come from? Like you're like doing self-development. You've got a family. You've got good morals. You're level-headed. You're disciplined. You don't drink. Where's all that come from? Is it just upbringing, or is it recent years, or have you got a mentor, or?
Yeah, it was upbringing to an extent, but then again, when I was in my teens and at secondary school, I was wild then as well. I was wild, so...
But like the self-development, who told you to do that? Is it just off your own back?
Something off my own back, yeah. Well, no, so I tell a lie. So I did used to see a mind coach from the age of 19 because like I couldn't, things were going through my head and I was in a blow place and didn't know if I was coming or going. There was all sorts of things going through my head. So I did see a mind coach, and then Linda Keane, and then it kind of progressed into the boxing side of things, and I was using her for the boxing because obviously like saying about the mindset, so I was using her for that. And then after that I kind of went off on Tony Robbins and everyone else, and I just kind of developed it all of myself, and I just do my own research. I'd rather listen to a few of these podcasts or some stuff like that than watching junk on Netflix.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that, don't get me wrong, you do have that, listen, you've got to have it. I mean, the wife
Sure.
want to sit down and watch a bit of telly when the kids go bed or something, lovely, but majority of my time if I'm driving, it will be some sort of self-development and just
Productive, yeah.
because your brain, you've got to train every day.
Yeah.
So I can go in the gym and train my biceps and want it to get bigger, you got to do it every day. If I want my brain to be
Or developed.
To develop.
Most of them-
developed
Yeah,
and
yeah.
sharp and on point, and it needs to be developed every day. It's not one thing.
Yeah.
I've got a good one for you
spot on,
that you'd
yeah.
like. The
Yeah.
Chimp Paradox.
Chimp Paradox. Do you know what? I've got the book.
Have you?
Yeah.
You read it?
Yeah, I haven't read it all. Paul Taylor, my old trainer, he's given me that book.
You'd love that, mate. If you're talking about like controlling your head and you're you don't seem that angry now, but if you've got an angry, they call it basically the chimp inside of you. You've got to
Yeah.
control it. You've got to train it. And the chimp's the person. Say someone cuts you up in traffic and you got to get out of the car.
it, yeah.
It's controlling that chimp and keeping them under control. It's a really, really good book. You'd love it. So if you've got get a second, definitely.
Yeah,
read
no,
that.
definitely. I've got it. I have to read it. I've told it. I've like I said, I've been read a few pages of it. I ain't gone through the whole book, but it's things like that, like you're saying with the car situation.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've had times I've jumped out and then I've had to look at the wife and I thought, if something goes on here, I'm locked up. Boom.
Yeah.
So I hurt someone, you know, over what? Got someone-
Nothing.
They want to
It's
cut me up,
literally
no
nothing,
problem.
yeah, so-
Stay there, no problem. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You want to cut me up, no worries, lovely. That's all right. Just don't hit my car.
Yeah, that's it. You know, you said earlier. It's funny you say this because I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think any of us are that clued up in boxing. We watch it, but we're not gonna like say for a second that we know what we're talking about when it comes to like the industry and stuff like that. But what I do know and what I have noticed over the years is, like you said earlier, there's a lot of politics in boxing, and then in the recent years, because of that, UFC has then done that because there's no real politics in UFC. The best fighters always fight the best fighters, and that's it. Why is there so much politics in boxing? Where's that come from? Is it because there's so many different belts or different like promoters?
Too many promoters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, promotional side of money.
Is that it?
Money.
It's the money that's
So
invested
like
in.
some fighters will go and do something well and get to a position which they shouldn't really make, but they do. And then do you know what I mean? Say you got a fighter who's very talented, yeah, and gets 2,000 people watching him, and you got a fellow who ain't that great, but he's got 100 million people watching him. The promoter is going to be thinking, "We'll look after this kid because
Yeah.
he's got all these people watching him."
Wow.
So the actual talent he kick half gets left behind. And that's what happens in boxing, and that's kind of what it boils down to, like in my personal opinion. So I'm seeing kids in positions that I'd smoke. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not. No, I'm just. There's no. Listen, there's fighters out there. Say for example, right, it's not so much in my weight division, yeah, because my weight division is tough. Like I've got some good fighters there. So, but I'm just saying in other divisions, there's fighters there that I think, they're not that great, but they've gone and got world
Oh,
titles.
right, okay.
So there's not really someone, like I say, my division I've got good fighters. Weight above me I've got good fighters. Javonta Davis, there's some big fighters in there. Shakur Stevenson, there's some great fighters, and my name and Shakur have gone back and forth a few times. So them sort of fighters, they obviously deserve it because they've got the talent and also they've got the backing. But that's my reason why I think there's so many promoters.
Yeah.
If you've got 4 promoters, 4 kids they want to look after in the same weight, then they're going to manoeuvre them, and then
Yeah.
they're not going
Yeah.
to fight. The best ain't fighting the best. It's as simple as that.
That makes sense. Would you how do you think you do against Ryan Garcia?
If Ryan Garcia is a fight that I was looking for when he was at my weight, and he's gone up a weight. But yeah, if I fight Ryan, of course, 100%, I believe I beat him. 100%, I believe. Ryan's good on the camera. He looks good on the pads and all the tricks and that. But when it gets gritty, which he's only had really 1 or 2 tests that he's. I mean, Luke Campbell dropped him. Luke Campbell's a good fighter. I've done some rounds with Luke. He's a great fighter as well. But I think Luke Campbell I would beat Luke Campbell. You know what I'm saying? So
who's the money fight at the moment then?
Who do you want?
the fight, like I say, I need
Josh Kelly, your weight as
No,
well.
no, they're all bigger than me, Josh. They're all bigger. So my plan, Joe Cordina's in my weight. Something like Joe. So that's a fight that I'd want. But Shakur, like I say, it was me and Shakur Stevenson. That was the fight. I thought, right, this is it. Rubbing my hands out, let's just get this on. And then the next minute, they've done some politics with me with Oscar Valdez, and then he's at 135 now. So
can't you control like the narrative, like? No, like was going back earlier saying that if you've got a loud mouth and stuff like that, you can you sell tickets. Is there are you limited to what you can do on social media and stuff, or can you a free agent? Can you, if you want to go on social media onto live one day or onto your story and just call these people out saying I'd beat you? I think Fury does it all the time.
Yeah.
Always goes on into his story and just like literally bad mouths everyone. Can you do that?
I suppose you could do it, but mate, half it's muggy, mate. To be fair, because like I say, Fury's called out all these fighters. And there's a couple of fights that could have happened. The Usyk fight, there's no reason why that couldn't have happened. If Usyk's agreed to 70-30, what more do you want? The man just basically agreed to your terms. Then they were saying about rematch. So that could have been done. There's no reason why that could have been done. And Fury saying, oh, you got time deadlines. Listen, he ain't stupid. He knows how this boxing and the politics work. You can't just do things like a click of a hat, you know. There's lawyers have got to go through things. It don't take that much time, but there is a little bit of time. You can't go and give someone 3 days to make a decision and get over the line. So there's a bit of back and forth. So that's my personal opinion on that. I think there's been a couple of fights that really they could have been made.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose I could do that, jump around and do things like that. But when you got 4 kids and a life and all I want to do is just train, go home and spend time with the kids, I ain't really got time to be doing.
I hear that.
Jumping around, screaming shit. I'm just gonna let my boxing do the talking. There'll be a time. It might take me a little bit longer, but the minute I get that fight, there's only so long they can hold me back. Like if I keep winning, which I'm doing, they'll say, right, you get a mandatory shot. Once you get a mandatory, they have to fight me. I beat them, and then I just keep beating everyone, and that's it. Because once you got the belt and the golden ticket, everyone's gonna want that golden ticket.
Yeah.
So they're coming to you then.
Yeah, then
Do you reckon that fight's around the corner, or do you reckon a little bit more time?
Yeah, it should have happened this year, but it didn't.
So is that politics?
What I say last year, sorry. Yeah, politics to it. Just crap, you know. Like they agreed me to a fight, which I agreed to, and then the champion wanted to swerve me. I was number 1. They wanted to fight the number 3 kid.
Why?
Well, this is it. Why? Why would you want to go and fight someone who's lower down the rankings? But I know why, because they want an easier fight.
Yeah.
Right,
So
okay,
what happened is there will come a time and a place where they can't dictate where they can and can't go, and they have to fight me, and then I'll do what I have to do, and then that's down to me then with the pressure that I've got to deliver.
Yeah.
I've got to get. I've been asking for it, I've been screaming for it. It's my turn to deliver, which I will. So
what comes next for you, Arch, in terms of the fight scene? Like, how long before you get to that stage of going for the world title fight?
well, like I say, we're ranked number 1 in the world now, so they should be really coming to me saying, look, we've got this fight.
Yeah.
Which
Is
puts
that
you man.
official? Yeah, you are ranked number 1 in the world.
Yeah, so in the Dutch, so you got 4 organisations. Yeah,
Okay.
so now this is where it gets.
Educate me. Go
Yeah,
on.
go.
This is where it gets. Come, we got the WBO,
Yeah.
IBF, WBC, and
Yeah.
WBA.
Okay.
In the WBO, sorry, at my weight, I'm number 1 in the
Okay.
world. So then that means I'm number 1 contender. Then the only person above me is one who holds the WBO world title.
Fine.
So really, once I'm mandatory, I fight the person with the belt. I win that.
What does mandatory mean in terms like?
When they have to, they've got.
Alright, and how does that happen?
And if they
Why?
don't, then
Yeah.
they've got to pay, and then they give up the belt. So if they
wow.
don't fight me, they've got to give up their championship belt.
So is it mandatory now that fight
Not
has
yet.
to happen?
It should have been happening, but like I say, I think with the discussions that we've got with the team, the next opponent that we have will put me in a position where they have to mandatory.
That's sick. So you're about 6 months to a year away from it.
Yeah, I believe
Nice,
so,
man.
Nice. I wish you all the best, man.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
You seem so switched on and dialed in with everything. But you did say earlier that you had to get a life coach because you was fighting some demons. Where did that all come from?
Just young, partying, and yeah, just angry at stuff, which was just draining energy. You know, just draining energy and thought things and arguing against people, thinking that everyone's all wrong, not realizing everyone's got an opinion and it's not always your side. You're just dealing with people. Everyone's got different. So yeah, so that was it really. There's just demons going from me, had all sorts of faults, bad faults, good faults.
Do you feel like you've settled those demons now?
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, I could have gone two roads. I could have been locked up, dead, or doing what I'm doing. So
Mental game, isn't it?
It is mental game.
Like even your industry, mate. I feel like maybe 90% of it is what you do outside of the ring, preparing for the fight. It's not the 10 minutes or the 12 minutes that you spend in there for the 12 rounds. It is prepping towards that. So yeah, it goes to show like how well your mental well-being has to be, even leading up to that, and just in general in life as well.
yeah, well, like you were saying earlier about how long do you have as a fighter. So you can have as long as you want, as long as you're switched on. You're doing the right things outside the ring and living the dream, and do you know what I mean? Doing everything correctly. Then you last long. Your longevity. Then that's why Mayweather's done so well and last in the game. So because of his longevity, he's done everything correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. If you're a young pup coming through and you're fully yourself and you're jumping around and partying and doing whatever you're doing, and then go and get yourself beat, you don't last very long.
Sure.
What is the long-term plans for you, actually? Like, what's the long-term goals?
So long-term goals is just try and bundles of money, go where I want, do what I want, freedom.
Yeah, sounds like us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, I've got all these kids, man. I can't be going through airports. I need my own plane. You know?
I love that. Good man.
They're the sort of visions that we've got. So
Lovely,
and then
man.
just freedom, mate. I do what I want to do when I want.
Talking outside of the ring though, is there any like particular interests and hobbies that you have?
I did, but with all the kids, it is busy. Like,
can
it's
imagine.
really busy.
Hands are full, mate.
Yeah.
It is hands on, and I'm a hands on dad. I mean, I help my wife out a lot because I've got the beauty of being able to do that. I go to the gym, I'm at home. I go
lovely,
to the gym
man.
at home. Like I can get up, take the kids to school, so I'm blessed to be able to do that. But golf, like I say, once the boxing and things start to quieten down, and
Everyone's loving the golf
kids
nowadays.
go. I like golf. I enjoy golf.
Yeah.
A lot of business is done on the green, you know. So,
Yeah, too right.
so
I'm shocking, man. I went to Top Golf with my old and my sister, and my mum beat me. my mum beat me, and bear in mind, my mum don't do nothing, no sports, nothing, and she beat me, mate. I would never go back.
You need to. I think you can train anyone to become a good golfer.
Probably, it's
Well,
like
not
anything.
good, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Half decent.
Yeah,
exactly
probably.
that. That's crazy. What was I saying? There was a question I was going to ask you about hobbies outside of the gym. I know you said, I don't know, forgot. What is the 10-year plan? I know you said loads of money and stuff, but have you got a solid plan, like as in what belts you want to achieve, how you kind of you want to do it, and when you want
10 years. I'm 28 now, so take me to 38. So I'm going to literally be a multiple weight world champion. So I don't want to win just one at super feather. I want to win it, go up. Do you know what I mean? And I want to do at least 2 or 3 weights by doing that, and then I'll be retired by them.
Nice.
I'll be retired by them and just box. Maybe who knows? Might box a few YouTubers as and when.
Would you take one at that point? Do you reckon when you get to that age and someone tried calling you out and you're like, yeah,
I think you'd take it at this age, wouldn't you?
And if you had
You'd
to,
take it
who
at
would
this age.
you?
You'd enjoy it when you're. I'd like to take them. The brothers, is it KSI and is it the other fella? What's his name?
What
Jake
Logan
Paul?
Paul them or?
No, not them. Is it
KSI. Oh,
Deji.
Deji.
Oh, is it him?
Deji
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love them too.
Yeah.
Do you know what the thing was with Jake Paul and
Call him out, bruv. Call him out right now.
You heard it here first, people.
I stuck on that Deji in Dubai actually.
Did you?
Did you?
Do you want
yeah,
it?
he's such nice.
You don't want the smoke.
That's right. But no, them Paul brothers, they've done well though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can say what they want, but
We
they've
say
done well.
that.
They're smart. They're very business, and they're smart. Fair play to them at the start.
Yeah.
I was one of them boxers. I was probably hating
Yeah.
because I'm like, mate, I'm doing
going
everything
on?
correct, and then YouTubers like,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
and then you do. But then when I sit back, and what am I doing that for? Like, fair play to them, good luck to them, wishes all the best, and they've done well, for the box, and they've done well. They've brought these drinks out. They cost me £10 a bottle.
They're businessmen. They're businessmen, mate.
Bloody hell, mate. Isn't that thing?
Yeah.
Crazy.
We've
innit?
just been gifted a loads of them from Prime. They just
Oh, there you go.
they just sent us a load.
Well, I thought we was gonna have him tonight, actually. But
Yeah, we've just been gifted a load of them, but we was gonna.
fair
We
play.
was,
Our manager let us
our
down.
manager's let.
yeah.
Is it? She your manager as well?
Yeah.
That.
It's Grace your manager officially.
No,
she's
no,
not.
manager.
Oh yeah, well our manager.
Well,
Grace.
Grace, if you're getting Prime, we can have this. I'm doing a fortune in Prime balls. I know that.
Yeah, sort him out. Come on, what's going on?
On the conversation a lot, Logan and I have you lot seen what's going on with his missus and with
Naughty.
Dillian?
Oh, mate.
I'm sorry, but that's it, man. That's the wedding off.
that's-
Logan
So-
Paul's, have you been following like the Logan and Dylan Danis like beef on Twitter?
No.
Oh,
So
mate,
they're having
mate,
back and
mate,
forth.
it's mental, bro.
Yeah, no.
Dylan's
bad.
basically said, "I've got content of your missus," and he's like, "No, you
I've
don't."
seen it.
I've seen it.
I've seen
yeah.
it as well. No. And so I think they're showing
He's
like
released
Aiden
over
Ross.
100 photos or something along them lines of Logan Paul's missus with other men. 100 different men.
Before she got with him.
Every day there's a new
Every day
It's
there's
game.
a
mad.
he's posted another photo with his missus.
It's
with another man.
insane. And one of the old boys are like a log, mate. It's mad. It's like a baby's arm holding an apple. I've never seen anything like it, mate.
And he's doing this all over
Imagine
his
that's-
So Dylan and him are obviously fighting, and he's just been getting
In his head.
Can't you get done for revenge porn on
I
that?
don't think that's a
though?
law in America.
No,
Oh shit! Is it?
So
Oh,
he didn't drop that video. That
No, he
video,
didn't,
that
yeah.
video got leaked.
oh, did he?
People-
Leaked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
because there was a video of her giving a blowy, and it was insane. I was just like, what's
Imagine
going
someone doing
on?
that back-
Techers
That's
though.
his like fiance, soon to be wife.
Good girl.
You'd fucking.
He just done a massive proposal to her and everything, and he's just releasing footage of her kissing other blokes, like
Dates are,
everything.
and not just like normal blokes. I mean, high value blokes.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio.
yeah, like
like
proper men.
big.
That would be a flex, to be honest. If I was like my missus got with Leonardo DiCaprio, I'd be like, yeah, we're cut
How
from
about
the same
other-
cloth.
how
Don't
about
worry
the other
about it.
100?
Well, but they're
I don't have the capacity.
I'll be fuming, mate.
Mate,
You would have
I'd
to
sack
call it
off. I
off.
don't think I could do
I
it.
could never do it. No way, bro.
Oh no, it'd be gone.
Not that
No
public,
way.
man.
No.
No way.
They've got to fight each other now.
Mate, I want to.
You wanna hurt him,
I want
wouldn't
to kill him.
Yeah, you
I'd-
would.
I'd
Let
do
me talk about mental health, mate. You don't want to understand what I'll be doing about this self-development, mate. Bloody hell. I'll be out the window.
That's war talk, isn't it? They're going to war after that. That's fighting.
It sold the fight though. People who don't even know about like boxing have seen it on Twitter and been like,
Sure, they're
I'm
not
gonna
going to
watch
fight,
that.
are they?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are. They're fighting.
Dylan
They're
Danis
fight
and
about it going the other way.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what's going to happen when they get in the ring, but
Can't shake his hand after that fight. I would.
Never.
no way,
Never.
bro. No way.
wouldn't.
Never. You want to kill him.
So this is the thing with damaging boxing.
Yeah, that's it.
Because
Takes the art away from it, doesn't it?
good fighters who've disciplined themselves to the boxing game and to it, there is respect there.
Yeah.
Alright, you might have one fighter saying, oh, you're up, your missus, whatever, yeah, alright, whatever, mate. But doing what they've gone and done, that's
Yeah, it's
to an
extreme.
Too far, isn't it?
The thing
Yeah.
is, Dylan Danis is a fighter.
He's a UFC fighter.
He's a
though.
UFC
He is,
fighter.
yeah. It's
Well, he's fucked
mad
his
personal,
name then,
that.
isn't he? Because he's the fucking sausage. Why would you do that?
Sausage.
That's a
It
fucking
is
idiot.
heavy.
It's low, yeah, it's low.
I don't
isn't
think
it?
he would have done it to another UFC fighter.
No,
No.
but it's a shitbag, but he's obviously done it to a fucking thing because he thinks he's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. He's let himself down, so...
If you're Logan, though, he's got to win, isn't he?
Oh, mate.
You got to keep
But
shit out of him,
he-
innit?
either way, he wins. His missus still a brass.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, all right, you've won, but you're
that's
still
mad.
stuck with that.
That
But
content.
did he
is
know
there.
his missus was a
No,
boss?
clearly
He
not.
does
No,
now.
If he did it, but that's heartbreaking, isn't it? You'd be upset, wouldn't you?
One or
yeah.
two, you'd be like, sweet, but like every day for like the last 2
That's
months.
insane.
That's
he,
a
he
lot.
was showing, what's his name? Is it Aiden Ross?
Yeah, that
He was
video.
showing and he was like, bro, this is too much. Like, you can't.
Even Tate's had a
said it to
speaking
him,
of
yeah.
He said Tate said that's the worst thing ever. You can't release that.
Yeah.
That's nuts, isn't it?
When the fellas released it,
Yeah. Well,
Well, I don't
mate,
think
the
yet.
money the fellas got, yeah. See, you won't be surprised if you see that in a body bag, mate.
You're not wrong.
Body bag, mate.
You're not wrong.
I think it's an important message though. Do not wife a brass.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Do your
CRB.
Do your CRB.
Do your CRB checks, boys.
Has
You
anyone
had a
ever,
message about that today.
Yeah, no, yeah.
has anyone ever tried to get personal with you? Not like, obviously, like that, but say remarks and shit to kind of get you going.
I think someone tried to have say saying, no, I beat you, and then your wife or missus come with me and all that. Alright, mate. I don't lose, mate. That don't bother me. You don't lose.
Your
so
wife's in the
whatever.
I love that, man. I love that. Actually, you don't lose. What? Go back. Circling back quickly. When you said about making money, have you got your hands in many pies, or is it just solely boxing at the moment as your income?
Yeah, so boxing is my main income, but yeah, I'm big into like investments. I've got equity in a couple of companies I'm doing stuff with. So I love talking about money. So that's another podcast for another day. Then no problem. Sign me up. But yeah, so yeah, just got to be smart in you.
100%.
Just investments and so.
Is anyone like mentoring you in that, or you just?
Yeah, I've got some mentors, so that's what I mean. I'm blessed to have good people, like big business people, who are behind me to give me their time. They know that I'm willing to learn. You know, I'm willing to learn. I've been up north with with a friend of mine. I just said, look, can I come and shadow you for a couple of days?
Nice, man.
Oh, mate, it's so important to rub shoulders with people like that.
Yeah, just be around you, what you're doing, and also he's a really nice fellow as well. So it works hand in hand. So it's good people. So
That's good, man.
We're lucky to have that, man.
What advice would you give to someone who's maybe kind of who's actually made some money and doesn't know what to do with it, or even kids that are just starting? I mean, that's two separate questions. To be honest.
So if you're already there and you've got money, I think the best thing to do is find out what you enjoy and kind of involve it around what you do, what you know. But they say that all these self-development, I'm just learning. Like, I'm just at the brink at the start of it. So I'm a multi-business. I'm just learning myself. Like, got myself in a position where I've managed to get a roof over my kids and my family's head. And now I'm starting trying to venture out into other investments and business side of things. So I'm not really the one to give the advice, but they say, and what I've done is invest in myself. So I've done, invest in yourself and then surround yourself with good people. Because I've had a lot of mistakes as well. I've been guided by some bad people who I thought was the right, and I end up being losses or just no good or just dead end roads. So I think it's definitely key to do that. You definitely have to do your research and your own. Yeah,
have to make some mistakes as well, though. I think those are the times I probably not just me.
You learn most from them.
100%. You know not to do it again
anymore, but yeah.
Just don't make an expensive mistake, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
What about advice for young lads now starting out who want to maybe look into boxing?
Don't do it. No, it's good, definitely. Like, it gets you off the streets. So the main thing is because if business, I'm in the business side of boxing now, yeah. So if we're talking just boxing in general, your local gyms and things like that, it's the best thing to do. Like I said, it saved me from going down bad paths. It just helped me out. It put some of my friends, lifelong friends, like for 20 odd years now, I've been through the boxing game because you learn that respect. See these wallies on the street who act all game X, Y, and Z. You go in the boxing ring and you punch holes in them because they haven't got a clue yet. You're learning and it's good. You're in a good environment. You're off the streets and you meet very good people. And yeah, I think it's definitely something to do. If it ain't just boxing, I think it's any sort of sport.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about the football side, but I think anything in the like the Muay Thai. My boy tried that as well. You got anything in that sort of industry.
Yeah.
I think in the fighting game, you learn so much self-discipline, karate, all of it, you know? So I think if a kid's looking to get into it, find out what you enjoy and then just try them all.
Yeah.
Try them all.
When you say sports, would you say, because the ones you just mentioned then, do you reckon you'd recommend martial arts over just your standard sports like rugby, football and all that? Like we've all tried all them, but martial arts gives you a different form of discipline.
But I believe so. I played rugby for a for a good few years, and they say that rugby's played by obviously a gentleman because they are, you know, like. And then they say the football is the other way around.
Yeah,
but yeah, you know what I'm gonna say. So, I think I can't say anything about football. I don't know it enough, so I can't really talk about it. You know, I can't. From what I see, there's a lot of kids that want to do football, and it's hard to get that sort of discipline because you've got one coach to 30 odd kids.
Yeah.
And it's a bit different, and you've got 10 other players to rely on. If you make a mistake, where boxing and things like the individual sports, it's down to you.
Yeah.
So you have to be
Self-accountable.
Yeah, you have to be self-accountable. You can't blame anyone else. It's down to you. If you don't want to do the runs, it's on your head. If you don't want to do this, it's on your head. If you do it on a football if you do it on a football pitch, and you don't do your runs and you don't, all right, you might slack a little bit, but someone else is going to pick it up and cover it, and it's not all on you if you lose 1-0. Whereas in boxing or any of these individual sports, if you lose, it's on you.
Yeah.
That is so true. That's a really good point, actually.
Hypothetically speaking, if you wasn't a boxer, what do you reckon you'd be doing for a profession, for a job? Go on.
Don't want to answer that.
Next question, please.
I don't have a 9 to 5.
Nah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Say no more.
That's just honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
being
for sure.
honest. I don't think I'll be.
That's because probably what you're a product of your environment.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Do you know? I just think it's just like.
We hear you, mate. We don't have to ask anymore. That's a good question. That was.
Yeah, I'm always just intrigued.
What would you be doing if you weren't a podcaster, mate?
Yeah.
Next question, please, guys.
I've got a question for you. There's a video of you on YouTube, and it's like called like WWE.
Yeah.
Something. It's got like 4.1 million views. How did that happen? Or do you want to explain? Because people watching this will probably be interested in that story and like, what was going on in that ring when you kind of flipped him over your head in the boxing ring.
So I don't know. So it was a frustrating fight. If you see, I cut. So I had 7 stitches through here. I had cuts all over my face. So it was a very frustrating fight. It was typical Mexican as well.
Yeah.
It just keeps coming. It's like, go away. So we managed to be close, and I felt him like leaning on. He was leaning over, and I just kind of stood up. So I don't miss legs. I know I don't look like I've got big legs, but I don't miss leg day. Yeah. But I stood up, and he's on the back, and yeah. I don't know, saying just went go straight over.
Flipped them over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You didn't disqualify for that or anything?
Nearly.
You didn't get any points deducted, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
I don't know if I did actually. I don't know. I was very lucky because what I'd done is I stood up and kind of like just showed him off.
Yeah.
Didn't give it the whole
Nah.
throw over, which I was nearly done. But I had to think to myself in that split second. I had
I
to
do
think,
that, it's all over.
Yeah, I had to conduct myself and be like, Arch.
I need to see this. We might have to get a little clip playing.
We'll
on
get
this.
some
Yeah,
on the
definitely
video.
need to get that
Just
clip
so
up.
people
Just
know what
see it,
we're
I'm
talking
just-
about.
You see what I'm doing? I kind of stand and I'm just like.
Then he
fight.
tries milking it on the floor, doesn't he?
Does he?
He does bad. He could have landed. That's what
Yeah,
I mean.
he could have gone- he could have gone
He
bad,
milked
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Definitely milked it. It was alright because he come at me like a windmill after.
Did that give you a lot of exposure? That. Because he said he got 4.1 million views.
There's a lot of views on
got a lot of,
YouTube.
I
Yeah.
was a BT Sport one there. I got a lot of stick as well.
I was looking at the comments or something.
Serious stick,
Or
mate.
is it no publicity is bad publicity?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
puts you on
not
that.
that bad,
The other
but-
way around.
What is it?
Excuse us, it's his second language.
It's usually Mert making a mistake. What did I say?
No publicity is bad publicity.
What
It's
did I
bad
say?
publicity. There's no such thing
Thing
as bad publicity.
Oh, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. innit?
We-
Potatoes, potatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. I'm on a Zakwe.
Listen, Archie, thank you very much for coming on, man.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure. I've learned a lot as well. It's been a great pod. Is there anything you want to plug before you go? Next
Yeah, any sort of
fights?
final message to people, bruv, that you want to say?
Message any fighters you want to fight or call out?
Fight the whole world. All the years, all at once. You know what I do like to do? I like to fight 2 fighters at once. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, wow.
Really, yeah?
I would love to do that.
You couldn't do it
Have
properly.
you seen the video of that geezer
Take-
dressed as a teacher? Gets in there and he's fighting like 2 or 3 Muay Thai geezers. And
seen that.
he batters them, to be fair.
Does he?
but-
Yeah, fair.
Seen
No,
a guy
I'd like to
fight
do
his
that.
wife.
Would that be an exhibition fight or could you actually do that properly?
Wait, with the world of boxing, they do tag team now, so I wouldn't be surprised if anything.
Yeah.
Actually, tag team
So
boxing.
you'd want to
Wow.
fight 2 professional fighters or just 2?
I don't know. Why don't we do 2 YouTubers start off? Just as
the
my
Paul
debut.
brothers.
The war- yeah.
As a debut, just like a couple of YouTubers, you know, like a couple of million followers.
You
and
can make it
that.
happen.
Yeah, why not?
Is there any YouTubers watching who want an exhibition fight? Archie's your man. 2
Two of them.
YouTubers, 2 of them at once in a ring.
We'll tag them all.
Yeah, let's tag them all.
We'll be in Archie's corner.
No, nice, man. Thank you very much for coming on.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate your podcast, man. It's a great message, and it's a fair play to
Thank
you,
you,
lads.
brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Appreciate
Appreciate it. Listen, guys, if you're new around here and you've made it this far, thank you very much. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button.
Leave a comment in the comment section.
And we'll see you in the next.
Peace.
Peace.